Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to another video. So I wanted to talk more about the announcement we got last night, which was that The Walking Dead's final season is airing this summer. I wanted to talk about more about the release dates and what they're probably doing with the episodes, because a lot of people I think are freaking out a little bit that the show is going to end this year, like in November, and I don't think that's really possible, and I'll explain why. I also wanted to talk about the scene that we got, because we got like this Commonwealth interrogation room. I wanted to talk more about that, bring up some of Deanna's tapes, stuff that could be brought up, and yeah, just what they're going to be getting into in the summer. So before we go any further, obviously this will contain spoilers for last night's episode of The Walking Dead, and if you are new here, make sure to be a subscriber if you want more Walking Dead content like this. Now, obviously, that news was pretty shocking, and I don't really know why it was shocking. I guess it's because it was just that soon. Like we're still in winter. I mean, spring's basically here, right? Like it's warming up like crazy right now, and yeah, I don't know. It's just that summer still kind of feels a little farther away. But fall definitely feels farther away. When they said summer, I was just like, wait, what? That's like 3, 4, or 5 months away. Like, we're going to be getting into the final season already? I kept thinking we had until the end of the year, which is hilarious because I think I was okay with it coming out in October because they would be doing like 8, 8, and 8 most likely, right? And I can mentally prepare myself to saying goodbye to the show, because it's going to be a pretty big deal, right? When the show ends, it's like, I've been watching this for 10 years, and yeah, they're going to have spinoffs, they're going to have all this stuff, the Daryl and Carol stuff, the Rick Grimes movie is still going for a while, and so there's still stuff I can watch, but it's not The Walking Dead, right? Like, it's saying goodbye to this show. It'll be the same as when you're saying goodbye to Fear the Walking Dead. Obviously not, it's not as important to me. Saying goodbye to Fear the Walking Dead, it'll just be kind of a, wow, that was a bunch of ups and downs throughout the series, but yeah, the show was finally ending. I remember when it first came out. I remember when they first announced Fear the Walking Dead. I still remember when they announced the cast and they announced all the actors playing them and stuff. Like, that's also still going to be pretty crazy to say goodbye to. So yeah, just the fact that it's coming out in the summer, it was almost too soon. It's like, hey, wait, calm down, just wait a minute, right? Because that's the thing too, is that means we are probably, at least there's a chance that we could get the trailer a lot sooner. Because it depends on when they release this thing, right? Like, what does summer 2021 mean? I think it means August, and I'll explain why more in this video, why I think it means August/September potentially. I don't think it's going to be like late June or July, and the reason why is because of Comic-Con. I still think they might want to do a Comic-Con trailer release, because they've always done that. Maybe they'll just ignore it because it's the final season, and they can't really gather there, right, in front of fans anyways. It depends on what they want to do with all of that, right? Like, are they going to release the trailer in June? When are they going to release the final season trailer? They could maybe do it potentially anyways on April 4th when Here's Negan comes out. If they have enough stuff at that point, maybe they could put something together. But remember, their trailers, their season trailers, are 4 to 5 minutes long. It's not like a general trailer that we get for whatever episodes, right? There's a lot of stuff that goes into it. There's a lot of footage from a lot of episodes. So it depends on where they're at that point. So I think that it's going to be coming out in August. And the reason why is because I was trying to map it out. Like, all night last night, I was just looking on the calendar, trying to map out, like, where would you want the series to end, right? Because, like, I wanted to see, maybe there's a possibility it could end this year, and maybe they could start it in June, but like right after Fear the Walking Dead season 6 is over. But they could do it, first of all. It's just, they would have to start like the first weekend of June, and that would take them straight until the end of November. And they would have to air those 24 episodes consecutively with no breaks, no mid-season breaks or anything, straight from then all the way to November. And they've never done that before. Like, they've never aired 16 straight. They've always done 8 and then 8. So I think they're going to be doing 12 and 12. I think it makes a lot of sense because, first of all, June is the start of summer technically, but I think June, most people consider it to be spring because summer doesn't begin until like later on in the month. I don't think they're going to air this thing in July because of Comic-Con, because it is like summer. I think it's going to be August/September, just like they did with Fear the Walking Dead, because that was the big debate with Fear the Walking Dead was like last year was it going to air early August, the week of Comic-Con or the weekend after Comic-Con? And it ended up being late August, maybe early September or something like that. So I think that's what they're doing with this. Like, I think they would have aired it in October, but because it's 12 episodes, I think they're going to go back 4 more weeks, right? And so they'll start it 4 weeks from like the first weekend of October. So maybe that's early September, which is technically still summer, right? If it's September 4th or 5th or somewhere around there, that is still technically summer. It could be late August, whatever they're planning to do there. And then, yeah, they'll do 12 episodes until the end of November, come back in February, do another 12, and that'll end in like May or something like that. So I think that's what they're going to do here. I think next spring, The Walking Dead will be over. And then at that point, I think that's where the Rick Grimes movie is most likely going to come out, because they are going to be filming that within the next month or no, not next month, but in like 2 months, probably. In 2 to 3 months, they will be filming for the Rick movie. It's going to be really exciting. We are probably going to get trailers for that. And yeah, that's something to look forward to after The Walking Dead is over. And that's going to be the weird shift, right? When the show ends in like a little over a year, that's where we're going to, like, as for me, I cover The Walking Dead on YouTube, it's going to be so weird to start talking about the Daryl and Carol spinoff, and because there's so much content after The Walking Dead. Right now, it's primarily The Walking Dead. It's really the only show. There's those 2 other spinoffs, but it's really you just talking about that. But afterwards, it's going to be more of the Rick movie, because we're going to probably have that movie at that point, talking about the second movie, the Daryl and Carol spinoff, and more stuff on that. Any other spinoffs that they try to do, like Tales of the Walking Dead, if there's a Negan spinoff, like Negan Lives, they could do that story and write some more original material for that. But it's going to be such a weird year next year when The Walking Dead's over, covering different things. And yeah, it's going to be interesting, because the fan bases, they don't want The Walking Dead to end. They want the stuff to continue. So that's why I know that, the spinoffs and the movies and stuff, they're still going to be very big. There's still going to be a lot to talk about. It's not going to be a thing where The Walking Dead ends next year and all of a sudden all the discussion online is gone and it's just The Walking Dead is over and that's it. We have to move on with our lives, right? Like, no, there's still so much to talk about. And so, yeah, I mean, that's me really mentally preparing for the fact that The Walking Dead is coming to an end, because it's going to be a pretty crazy end to a pretty amazing era, right? Like, just what The Walking Dead has done for zombies and the zombie genre is pretty amazing. It's going to be a pretty insane episode, and I can't wait to, I can wait, but I also can't wait to start the final season, because it's going to be quite a ride. But yeah, the Commonwealth interrogation room, we do see it here. And I'm bringing up Deanna's tapes because, first of all, I don't know what happened to her tapes. I don't know if it's still in Alexandria, but I think it's possible that some of those could come back. That maybe, at least the Rick stuff. I don't know if they really filmed a lot of stuff with other characters. I'm not exactly sure, but maybe that could come back into the story somehow, right? Like, maybe they don't want to answer certain things, but somehow when the Commonwealth arrive in Alexandria, they find those tapes. I think it would be pretty cool to do that. I do think it's pretty unlikely. The interrogation room, though, like, that they've already filmed some scenes here, because they're in episodes 1 and 2, I believe, at this point now for season 11. It's going to be a 2-part premiere, so we're going to have 2 episodes airing on the same night. That's going to be a pretty busy night for me. Unless I've already watched them early, then I probably won't. I'll just release each review. Yeah, I'll have to figure out how I'm going to do that. But I imagine a lot of the Commonwealth characters are going to be here, because this is from the Commonwealth. And the Commonwealth, like, that's going to be the weird thing, is that there's going to be some weird set pieces, right? Stuff we're not used to, in the sense that it's going to be like normal life. And things are going to be clean, because on the show, things have just been like dirty and destroyed for like years now. But at the Commonwealth, it's going to be clean. The streets are going to be clean. It's going to be just like it is in real life. They're going to be walking around. They're going to see people in shops and bakery shops selling stuff. Our characters are going to be so blown away by how this still exists. How does any of this make sense? People will be cutting the grass, keeping things looking nice and stuff. Like, what, really? You have the time to focus on that? You're at that point, like, just in your society, in your community, that you can just focus on those things? That is going to feel like we are in the final season. When we get to that point and things are going back, or more back to normal, I think as fans of the show, especially seeing it on the show, it is going to feel a lot more like season 1 again. We are going to go back to that point. It's almost like a full circle thing. Knowing where it ends in the comic, I think it also makes a lot of sense. That's the story of these characters. That's the story of The Walking Dead. It was a survival story. And in the end, they did get out of it. They never returned back to normal, but at least they got some sense of normal. They adapted, they survived, which was the point of The Walking Dead. That's what Rick has always said. So it's going to be a very beautiful and amazing story. And I can't wait for Andrew Lincoln to come back for the final season. It'll probably be the last episode, but he's definitely going to be a part of it in some way. There's no way they're just going to leave Rick out, right? Because if you're a fan of the show, there's this huge plot hole of what happened to him. And so if you wrap up The Walking Dead without him, like without that being addressed, then that's just going to be a big hole in the story. So I think he's coming back for the final episode for sure. I hope it's not spoiled though. That's one thing that could ruin it. If they're filming that this year, say in October or November, that could actually spoil that scene. If someone sees him on set, you know, that moment could be spoiled. So it really, really depends. And I also will say, I hope that at least for the final episode, that it depends, because they still might do it on AMC Plus, but it would be nice if they didn't do that and they just had the final episode air on TV just like they used to always do. Not have certain fans watch it early, just have it air on TV, because it would be pretty amazing, I think, to have everyone involved, everyone watching it for the first time, and then afterwards they can post their reviews. Or, I mean, I guess certain journalists are going to be able to see it early, but yeah, I think it would just be pretty amazing to approach it that way, as like a celebration, have everyone come together that night and just watch the ratings go up. That's what's going to happen in the final season. Maybe not at first, but definitely towards the end, those ratings are going to go up, because I've talked with a lot of people already. They said that because the show was ending, they are definitely going to catch up and check it out, because they were really just waiting for this point. Like they didn't know if the show was going to last another 5-10 years. They just wanted to know when it was going to end, and now they'll binge it all and finish it. So yeah, I can't wait. Like overall, I'll leave it here, but I'm excited, but I'm also not excited. But that's when I think it's going to be coming out. I think the show is going to be airing in August/September, which is a little sooner, which is pretty cool. So yeah, post all your thoughts down below. Hope you guys all enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.